Good morning. Good morning. How are you all this morning? We are back today with a special segment called Black History Spotlight. And sitting right here beside me is Reverend Jesse Turner. Or do we do Pastor?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
We're doing good. Okay. Y'all, he's just been catching me up on some things. Just a background about how we know each other. I was in one of his organizations called the King Team back in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was a group where youth could go. We did a community service. We learned about nonviolent communication. We learned about our history. We learned about voters' rights, all the things. So I'm going to give him a chance to introduce himself, and then we'll start talking about some of the many, many amazing accomplishments that he's been able to do over the course of his time. I think you said since 11th grade.
hmm
Okay, the floor is yours.
Well, good morning. And first, to your audience, good morning. And to you, I want to just say thank you for allowing me to be a part of this program that you're having. Um, we have been in Pine Bluff since birth. Went to schools here in Southeast High School, historically black, and to the historically black college over at UAPB. But I guess one of the things that we have done is that we've been engaged since in this community in terms of civil rights work since I was in the 11th grade. Um, Getting one of the things I did that was kind of small, as people might say, it was that there were mailboxes on Ohio Street that had a rural route, and the mailboxes sit on the other side of the street, and the elderly had to go across Ohio Street, which was about 4 lanes, to get to their mailbox. And so I thought that was wrong, and I just got in touch with the postmaster downtown, asking them if he would put those boxes on the other side, and he did. All of the mailboxes that sat on that rural route, he put them up on the hill where they didn't have to cross the street. So I was proud of that. But I guess the most significant thing that I did was when I was, again, in the 11th grade, uh, there were people on our streets and in our community that did not have sewer. Um, it had an outhouse where you had to go out back to use the restroom, whether it was late at night or the daytime. And so the city of Pine Bluff decided to run the sewer lines through our community so that we could hook on and be connected to the sewer system. My mother paid her monies. The other communities paid their money because you had to pay to be connected. So once that was done, St. John's was built. St. John's Apartments, which are down the street from where my mother lives on East 25th. And there was a lady, her name was Amara Burks, who decided to let the people come beside her house because what they were doing, they were trying to get to 34th School because they was building 34th School. And so eventually we were on an island. 5 families were on an island because they hooked Miss Burks in, they hooked St. John's in, but there was no sewer line. We still had the outhouse. We went to City Hall. We talked to the mayor. Now I'm in 11th grade. We talked to the mayor about my mom needing, she's paid her money, she needs to be hooked up. Uh, we went there to talk to the mayor. We went to city council, and ultimately, the last meeting that I had with the city officials, who are all white, uh, I told them that it wasn't the truth, but I just put some fear in them. I said, my mom's going to get a lawyer because she's been waiting for over a year to be connected, and you all are not connecting her sewer, and then there are other people as well. And after I left that meeting, within 2 weeks, they were bringing the sewer line down 25th Street. to hook our parents, my mother on, and as well as the people in the other part of the community there. I found out there was something that I could do uh, to change things. I love Martin Luther King Jr., what he was doing. And when I saw that I could make a difference, that's really what got me involved in politics and in all of the things that I have been able to do. And it's been it's been great to make history and to do things that improve the lives of our people. And so we just continued on even until this day. So there are a number of things that we have been able to do in terms of making the community better. And so that's really how I got involved in the political process, and just just being able to speak and get things done for others. That's what it's all about. And what Martin Luther King said is the most important thing, I'm paraphrasing, the most important thing that you can ask, the most urgent thing is, what are you doing for others? And so I took that, and that's what I did to move forward. So that was that's just a brief.
I love that. So in the 11th grade, you were getting mailbox moved to safer locations and getting sewer sewage connections
Hmm.
connected for your mom, and I'm sure your how you did it encouraged others to go down and do the same for themselves, or you probably assisted in that.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. So I do want to come forward just a little bit. Um, let's talk about some of the organizations that you have going on now. Now, I kind of want to talk about some of the awards and acclaim accolades that you've accumulated over the years first.
Well, I have a number of them. I have locally, I have received the first Pine Bluff Branch NAACP award, Dove Award. I got that in 1987. The reason we got that is because of the boycott that we led against the Pine Bluff commercial. The Pine Bluff commercial did not have any African American reporters. They had one person whose name was Gail Morris. Gail was an African American working at the commercial. The only thing that she was able to do was write obituary. And so when we looked at the papers, we noticed that all of the negative news, whether it's blacks shooting dice in the jailhouse, or whether it's something that was negative toward the black community, we took exception to that. UAPB was getting bad coverage. The chancellor was Dr. Charles Walker, uh, and he found out what we were doing, and he talked to us about what was going on. And so from that, we boycotted the commercial. It lasted somewhere close to 50 days. Uh, and it changed the perception that was put on the front page. Because when we met with them, we told them, we don't mind you putting negative news in, but when something positive is done by the black community or black people, put that on the front page as well. Uh, they refused, so we boycotted. Uh, and the boycott was successful, but the key thing is what happened, what came out of that boycott was a journalism program at UAPB, a TV and a radio station, all as a result of the boycott. Dr. Walker told us, because we told him, they tell us when we come to them and ask about black reporters, they say they don't have a pool to choose from. They got to go to Little Rock or Fort Smith. And so what Dr. Charles Walker did, he then set the wheel in motion. And that's why we have a UAPB TV 24 channel. And we have the journalism program on the campus of UAPB to teach kids how to be journalists, as well as the TV station. So that came as a result of that. My work in Pine Bluff has gained me the highest award in the United States for a civilian, and that is a Lifetime Achievement Award. That award was given to me by the former President Joe Biden. And so I have that award. I have other awards from the Arkansas Educational Association. I've been recognized with a award of my own by the National Alliance of Faith and Justice. There's a Jesse Turner Community Service Award that is given nationally through the National Alliance of Faith and Justice. So there's just so many that you know it's hard to put out
To
here right
remember
now.
all of them, huh?
You know,
Yes. Listen, that is amazing. I've learned so much in this 10 minutes that we've been on that I had no idea about. Do you want to talk about this before we move on?
yes, I will. I have 6 letters from 6 different presidents, from Bill Clinton to Donald Trump, and this is a card here that I received from President Obama. He
Hold
sent
it up just a little bit higher.
Okay,
There you
he
go.
sent me this card in 2023, and when I received it, I was just overjoyed. And then when I got it and opened it up, this is what came out of it. You open it up, and then there's the White House. Then he has his name on here signed. We have the children's names, Sasha and Malia, and also they had the dog print there now.
Mhm.
Now all of this came from President Obama.
Is Michelle on there too?
Yes, Michelle is on here
Michelle is
too.
on there too.
Matter of fact, I had the opportunity when we were in Washington, D.C. to carry one of our King team members up there because it was dealing with mentoring. And Michelle Obama, she spoke, and I was on the stage with her. And that was a special event that I've been in. So
Absolutely.
there's just a number of things that we have done that has brought us award. Been to the National Press Club to speak at the National Press Club. Stood in the same spots where presidents and foreign dignitaries stand at the National Press Club, and we did that because of an organization that we created called Pastors on Patrol. We do Pastors on Patrol here in our city, and with Pastors on Patrol is where we go into the schools. And of course, that has been a successful thing over at Watson Chapel High School where a young man got killed. There's a documentary on it. This young man, he got killed in the hallway at the school. And that's when we started Pastors on Patrol. But our efforts over there has reduced negative behavior among students by some 33%. So we see that being a positive. And also, Queen Sugar has done a episode of a replica of what we do with one of her programs. So it's something that's national. It's something that we did. We wasn't looking for all of this, but we've been recognized nationally for Pastors on Patrol, and we have ministers who go into the schools, and we work. We talk to those kids, and we help them, and it's having a great impact on the kids.
That's amazing. I actually saw you in there one day. My oldest son, when he was going to Watson Chapel, it was right after COVID because he was still kind of virtual, and I was going out there to get some books or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw Reverend Turner. I was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He was like, "Oh, we're out here talking to the kids and helping them."
Mm-hmm.
And I, smiled or whatever. And I was like, he's in his element. Every time I see him, he's out. He's trying to pour into the youth, pour into the community, let us know about civil rights, empowerment, and everything. So I do want to talk about some of your other programs that you have going on right now.
Yeah, we really brought 5 national programs to Pine Bluff. Of course, one pen or pencil. We brought Pine Bluff Weed and Seed. We're working now with the community network, which is out of the Woodson Center. Woodson is based in Washington D.C., and there are others that we have done. But right now, we are working with the kids with our pen and pencil program. Pen stands for penitentiary. Pencil stands for education. It's a mentoring program, a national mentoring movement, where we try to push the kids towards the pencil, which is education. And we teach them about the violent things that they do, things that will get them put out of school, things that will put them in detention. And we know that once you get put out of school, you're not going to be able to get a job. And so what's going to happen is you're going to probably get in that pipeline to the penitentiary. So PEN stands for penitentiary. And of course, like I said, pencil is education. So we use that through mentoring. We teach them about Black history. We teach them about nonviolent things, the 6 principles of nonviolence, because our kids are really challenged today. And I say the most uh, civil rights issue of today, I'd say it like that. The civil rights issue of today for us is proficiency. Our kids are failing in school. They're not proficient. Many of them are not proficient in math, science, English, social studies. So we believe that more mentoring is needed to help these kids raise those grades. So I see it as a civil rights issue. It's an issue that we need to prepare our kids so that they'll be able to be involved in the work programs today in their neighborhoods and in the community as well as nationally, uh, because they have to have the skills to read. And we know that if a child cannot read in the third grade, according to statistics, he's going to be in that pipeline headed to the prison. So we have to change that. And I believe we can. And when I say we can, I'm just talking about nationally, not just Pine Bluff. But that has to be changed because our kids have behavior problems and other things. And we have to be there to talk to those kids and to give them encouragement. One young lady said, I'll give this. One young lady told one of our pastors that she was thinking about killing herself. She was down. He talked to her for a little bit, more than once, gave her encouragement. And now the young lady, we see her on campus, she is beaming with vitality and she is happy. So those kind of things, little bitty things that we do, make a difference. And we call ourselves, and I say to the ministers, I said, we are the church on display. When we are on those campuses and they see these red vests that we have, I said, we are the church on display. And when they see us, they'll run to us and ask us, would you pray for me? We don't ask them, can we pray for you? But if they come and ask us, we'll do that. So we have a number of pastors here in our community that work with us. Another thing we do is we work with the Wildcats Gentlemen Club over at Watson Chapel. That club is made up in anywhere from somewhere to 50, 65, or 70 young men. And there are those who are waiting to get on the list so that they can become a gentleman. We have pins that's been made for them that says the Wildcats Gentlemen Club. They participated in a program through the Woodson Center called Mothers United, Black Mothers United Against Violence. And of course, we had them to write about their feelings in terms of the gun violence, and they've done that. So those are the kind of things that we want them to begin to become critical thinkers and begin to use their skills to begin to write about how you feel. How do you think that we can end this? Let me hear about you. Let me hear what you think. And that's what we do. So the Gentlemen's Club, Pen or Pencil, the Community Affiliate Network, where we tell them about lesser known African Americans. And we have them to do research because when we talk about Black history with them, we don't want them to tell us. I always incentivize what I do. I normally go in class with something like maybe 25 $1 bills or some $2 bills, some $3 bills, whatever you want to call it. We know we don't have those. But we'll take some fives and some bills in there, and we'll ask them to name me 3 African Americans that you know that have done some great things in this country. And I say, I don't want to hear about Martin Luther King, Frederick Douglass, uh, uh, Rosa Parks, uh, any of those, Barack Obama. I don't want you to tell me about. Tell me somebody that you don't know about, and then they cannot figure those things out. So we try to teach them about Biddy Mason, Robert Small, Elijah McCoy, Onesimus. Those are African Americans that have done great things, and most of the kids don't know about them because we don't talk about them. And when you don't talk about them, uh, they don't know about them. It's almost like when I was running for mayor in '84, Jesse Jackson was running for president, and he just passed, of course. And our condolences to his family. But he came here, and I was running, and we both were traveling together here in the city. And so we went over to UAPB, and he spoke over there, and so forth. So this morning I had a picture that I showed to the gentlemen, and I asked them, "Do you know who this is?" They didn't know who Jesse Jackson was. Why? Because nobody told them about them that they could remember. And so that's how we do Black History. And those are the things that we do. And those are some of the organizations that we work with here in Pine Bluff, just to make a difference. And we need more mentors to help and to get engaged.
So, how can people become a mentor?
Well, they can become a mentor by, first of all, calling the office and request to be a mentor. Our office number is 870-730-1131. That is in the Donald W. Reynolds building at 211 West 3rd Avenue here in Pine Bluff. We're in Suite 109. Once you do that, once you call, we background check you. Not that we think something is wrong, but it's just a protocol. We do the preachers the same way. We background check you, and then we'll give you some information. Now, when pastors want to become mentors, this is our faith-based component of the Pine Bluff Interested Citizens for Voter Registration. We asked the pastor, just give us 1 hour. That's all we want from you is 1 hour. Once you get background checked and get a badge and get in place, be visible on the campus for 1 hour. And you go when you want to go. You don't have to go when we say go. We won't say, well, you need to be on Friday, you need to go on Wednesday, or whatever. Whatever day you choose, whatever time you have. We just need you to be on campus so the kids can see you. And when they see you, that builds them up, because some of these young people, their pastors are there. They say, my pastor is. And it really lifts them up. And not only the kids, but it lifts up those teachers and the faculty. So if you call us, we will give you the protocol that you need, and you can help just be on campus. There's nothing special you do, but you're just the church on display. And that's what really inspires the staff, the principals, and especially those scholars. And that's what's needed today in Pine Bluff, and not only in Pine Bluff, but around the state. Most people can't figure out, how did y'all get on campus? Well, I've been doing mentoring on the campus since 2006. I was already there, and the superintendents knew me. And so when we told them we wanted to come on campus, there was no problem. We're on campus at Watson Chapel, Pine Bluff, and Friendship Aspire. All those schools, we have connections there. And we also reaching out to the Whitehall community as well. They're involved with us with the 10 Commandments Project. But we're on the campus. And so the 10 Commandments, we have put 10 Commandments, the pastors have put 10 Commandments in every classroom in Watson Chapel's school district, and including the administrative office. We have put 10 Commandments in every school in Pine Bluff except Pine Bluff High School. And we're working on that as I speak to you right now. Every classroom in the district has a Ten Commandments. Now you say, what big deal is that? Well, number one, it's a state law. Number two, it can be used as a teaching tool when it is appropriate. Because when the kid is not unruly and things like that, teacher can always say, see what that says right there on the wall. Honor your father and your mother. Be respectful. So we can teach other things from that Ten Commandments. It's a law, and they're there. And we paid for them. We had to buy them. The school couldn't buy them. Every Ten Commandment that you see was paid for by Pine Bluff ICVR. We did that so that it would be a tool. It would be something that they could look at. It would be some kind of encouragement for those who are there, those who do attend church. So we don't try to push religion in the church. We just put things up there that they can read for themselves. But we never tell anybody, you need to see Jesus or you need to be saved. I need to pray for you. That's not what we're there for. We're there to help them get a better education, to help them when they need help. And that's what we do in Pine Bluff.
Amazing. Tell us a little bit more about ICVR. Is it like the overarching organization and then you have the other ones underneath?
Yeah. Everything is born out of ICVR. Pastors on Patrol are a component of what we do. We work with the Gentlemen's Club, which is under us as a sponsor. PBICVR is the oldest African American formed organization in Pine Bluff. It was formed in 1964 by 9 African Americans. It was formed at the Allen Temple AME Church right there on Virginia Street. I think it's 25 or 2511, that may be the wrong address. But Allen Temple Church on Virginia Street is where 9 came together to help get people involved in voting. And that's what we're doing today. We encourage you to go to vote. Go out and vote. Vote for the candidate of your choice. But educate yourself about that candidate. Just don't go and vote for him, but find out what he's about. So ICVR has been doing debates. We started debates back in the I don't want to say 60s. Back in the 80s, we started debates. And so when they organized, I wasn't there when they organized. I became involved with it later. But that organization set things in motion to change the entire election system in Pine Bluff. The schools, they were having at-large elections. A lawsuit was filed by the Pine Bluff Interested Citizens for Voter Registration to change school elections to zone elections. That's why we have zone elections. The city council, the city of Pine Bluff had at-large elections as well, where everybody could vote for a candidate. Well, we saw that as being unfair, the organization did. And so they filed a lawsuit to make it ward election. This is why we have ward election. It was the work of the Pine Bluff Interested Citizens for Voter Registration. We did that so that we'd have more representation on the city council, that it just would not be where people could vote for you and they didn't live in your ward and we didn't have enough voting power to actually elect someone. And I'll just say this, excuse me, in that process, I was threatened. I had bricks thrown through my window, a lot of negative phone calls, death threats, simply by trying to change the election system. And so the courts ultimately changed it. Well, the voters did it, and the courts upheld it. And so that's the part of me that says, if you try, God will bless you. And if you try to do things, God will be with you. And so that's what I've always relied on, even when people threaten me. Uh, and so the election system that we're having today was the work of Pine Bluff interested citizens so that everybody could have an opportunity to vote for the person that lives around them, not everybody voting for one candidate that did not even live in the neighborhood. So that was one of the things that we did. Uh, and I'll just share this with you as well in terms of history. Um, you're looking at, and I had the shirt made for all the family. Uh, but at the railroad, Cotton Belt Railroad had been in existence for almost 100 years. It never had a African American as an electrician. I was the first African American that was hired by the Cotton Belt Railroad in its existence to be an electrician apprentice. And while I was down there, again, there were death threats. They were right on. Someone wrote on the wall in one of the uh, facilities down there where we eat, "Kill that Ian Jake Turner." Can I say the word?
No, don't say the word.
She killed that Ian Jake Turner, and they wrote it on the wall. Uh, and it was just rough for me when it came to working with others. And I vividly recall when I was set up to become a journeyman, the first journeyman in the history of the Cotton Belt. One of the white guys told me, he said, my nickname was Jake. He said, Jake, I don't mind you becoming an electrician, but what I don't like is you're going to be making as much money as I am. That's how he felt about me moving up to be a German electrician. But that didn't stop anything because the company hadn't done it. So it's just being a part, being engaged like I have been for years. Uh, it's not always easy. People have you on TV, you're saying this, you're saying it on TV, and they think that's pretty cool. But behind the scenes, my family, myself, we've gone through death threats trying to improve the lives of Pine Bluff African Americans. And God has called me for this job. And so that's what I do. I don't bag away from it. I just do what God inspires me to do. Uh, and I always say, I remember my pastor, the late Reverend John H. Nolan, telling me once in the pulpit, one Sunday morning, he said to me, and this was when I was running for mayor in '84, he said, Reverend Turner, you're ahead of your time. I didn't think anything of it. I mean, I just heard him say it, But now I see what has been going on because there are over 37 things, progress that we have done, we have led, being out front, taking the heat, standing at the point of the spear, that we have accomplished here in Pine Bluff. And from the Jordan Chaney administration building, from the Martin Luther King Jr. Park, King team led that. Martin Luther King Jr. Park, they led that. The Coretta Scott King Center that's over there, they were involved in that. And many people don't realize that Pine Bluff has the only combination in the nation where there's a Martin Luther King Jr. Park and a Coretta Scott King Center on the inside of the Martin Luther King Park. That's Pine Bluff, and that's the only one in the nation that's combined like that. So that's something that our King team, our organization can be proud of because they led the effort. And so that's what you have to do with our young kids. Just like Andrea is a successful business lady. Well, we can also, if we can, boast about, because God tells me in Psalm 105 and verse 1, talk about what He's done through us. But William Fales is the youngest African American elected alderman here in Pine Bluff. He's the first African American that was elected in Pine Bluff, and he came into the ICVR King Team program when he was in the seventh grade, and he stayed with us until he went off to graduate. And he always said, I want to do something to help Pine Bluff when I go to college. I want to come back and help. And that's what he did. So he was elected. And I'm glad that we had a chance to pour into him some things, just like Andrea here. We're glad that we were able to pour things into her that she could remember and learn from, and to be successful. And so that's what we want to do. As Frederick Douglass said, it's easier to build strong men, and I'll add, and women. Uh, it's easier to build strong men and women than to repair broken men or broken women. So in his quote, he just said, it's easier to build strong men than it is to repair broken. It's easier to build strong men, strong boys than it is to repair broken men. So I just appreciate the city. I appreciate the people here, and it just brings me great joy when I see people who are successful that have gone through our program. That's to where I can say, I did have something to do with it. All my time wasn't wasted.
Absolutely not. I'm just enjoying getting to hear some of the stories that I've never heard before. I would love to have you back to talk about different initiatives that you have going on. Anything else you want to let us know before you get out of here?
Well, no, that's about it. Like I say, it's just so much to talk about. I can't hardly remember all of it. But I'll say this: I know that God is with me, and I'm gonna try to get all of these if I can. When I was born, I was the seventh child of seven children. Um, the first church I pastored was 27 miles from Pine Bluff. I was 37 years old when I entered into the ministry. My first sermon was on December 27th. I lived at 100 West 27th for 30 years. AT&T was Southwestern Bell then. They gave me a phone number. It was 536-7536. When we would go on trips with Weed and Seed, the hotel would always put me on the seventh floor. And the room, if it wasn't the seventh floor, there was a 7 in the room number. When we board a plane to leave, going places, it's always a 7. And even today, when I come over here to do this broadcast, this is the first time I've ever been here. And guess what day it is? The 17th. And so these are the 7s that have been in my life. And so I know the movement that I have in this time that I'm here on this earth is because of God. And so I just thank God for him bringing me, taking care of me. Like Psalms 118 verse 6 says, our God is on my side. And so I enjoy this, and maybe again I can bring some memorabilia that we have accumulated, some awards that we have. I do that to the kids. I show them things that they've never seen. None of them have never seen a presidential letter or things that the president has given to us. And not only the president, but people in this state have given me things as well that are historical in value first. And so it's not easy, but it's worth it. So God gets the glory out of all of this. And Jesus Christ said, Matthew 5 and verse 16, let your light so shine that men may see your good works. And what does that do? It glorifies the Father in heaven. So thank you, Andrea, for having us today. We pray God's blessings upon this program, that continue to be successful. And we just pray that you all that's listening to me, don't forget what day it is, not just the 17th, but it's a day to go out and vote. So please go out and cast your vote for the candidate of your choice.
All right. Thank you so much. I feel like I have a true historical figure sitting right here in the lab studio this morning. And guys, if you are just joining us, make sure you like and share the video, comment hashtag replay. Be sure to reach out if you're interested in mentoring or learning more about any of the organizations that sit under Pine Bluff ICVR so that you can be a part and make your mark on history. Okay, thank you so much for joining us for this